I'm still getting used to that name, Louise Hancocks. So for those of you that don't know me, my name was Louise Mackenzie. I got married just 3 weeks ago. Thank you. So what I'm going to do today is just share my story with you and hopefully give you some tips that you can implement into your business as well. So what you see on the screen is what I've achieved with Forever. And when I look at it myself, it just, I can remember sitting in that seat when I had my supervisor recognition, looking at people on the stage thinking, wow, isn't it incredible? So for me to stand here seeing that is just out of this world. But what I want to do is take you right back to the beginning, because that's where the success was made. The skills that I implemented and I learned started from supervisor and beyond. That's where the success was really made. So this is what my life looked like in April 2013. That's when I started my Forever business 3.5 years ago. So this is me and my partner, Steve, my fiance at the time, now married. But I was a single mum to Tyler Louise before I met Steve. I was a single mum for the first 4 years of her life, and we became the best of friends in that time. We did our thing, we had each other. It was very hard for me to change that routine. So when Steve came into my life, everything changed for the better. And we then went on to have our 2 beautiful boys, and I moved away from my hometown, which was down in Weston-super-Mare, and I moved up to the Midlands to be with Steve. So at the point of me starting Forever, I had a 7-year-old, a 6-month-old, and a 3-year-old. So my life was busy. I was that person with absolutely zero time, juggling bottles, sleepless nights, dropping off at grandma, nursery, school, you name it, it was going on in our life. So Stu was out of the house from 7:30 in the morning until 6:30 in the evening. He was a senior quantity surveyor, would commute into Birmingham, so I was, kind of juggling everything. I'll be honest, I wasn't in a good place at the time, but it was life. We chose to have children. We didn't know that they wouldn't sleep when we chose to have children. And we still had to go to work. We had bills to pay. We couldn't just sleep when the baby naps, not when you've got 3 children. It doesn't work like that anymore. So this is a house that we lived in. Someone once gave us the advice to buy the worst house on a good street and slowly renovate it. So that's what we did. But we didn't have any funds to renovate it, nor did we have the time to do it ourselves. So we lived in this house, as was, and my background is in hairdressing. So I was a mobile hairdresser, and it got to the point with 3 children, I just thought, I can't do this. I cannot do this. Something's got to give. And I was worried it was going to be me. I was not in a good place at all. So I decided that I needed a base to work from. I didn't want to be out in the car every day, rushing around, forgetting where I'd left my children, not picking them up on time. So I decided I needed a salon. So obviously a conventional salon wasn't going to work for me. So I Steve built a log cabin in the back garden. And that's where I ran my hairdressing from. And it just gave me that piece of structure, and I felt like I, had that routine in my life. Then, this time of year, especially in a hairdresser's world and in retail and anything like that, we start thinking about Christmas. This is when we go into overdrive and things get really, really busy. So this was me doing my thing in the salon, working my business, client after client after client. But I also wanted more as well. We wanted more money. We wanted a bit more than just the day-to-day. So I started doing little bit different things. Started doing hair extensions, but sourcing my own hair. So you should have seen the look on Steve's face when human hair started landing on the doorstep, because I decided that I wanted to do it myself. I didn't want to buy it from a company. That didn't last very long because it was really expensive. I then started networking, getting myself out and about, charity events, just to raise the profile of my salon. It was only a shed in the back garden, but it was my shed and it was my salon, and that's what I wanted to grow. Then this happened. One of my regular hair clients was using the products, and she looked fabulous. She looked really, really good. So I asked all about it. I wanted to know, what was she doing? She started showing me the drinking gel, the supplements she was taking. I thought, I need that for myself. And I thought, if I need it for myself, so many people in my situation are going to feel the same. Working people, parents, people that just don't feel how they used to or how they feel that they would want to feel. So she wasn't a distributor, she was simply a happy customer. So I got in contact with the lady that sold her hers, and I started retailing the products. And I just couldn't believe how they were retailing. My passion, because I was using them. I was obviously retailing more of what I was using. So I decided to start using more and more, because the more I was using, the more I could really passionately promote it to everybody else. So I realised my retail business grew. I had a lovely little retail business, not just in the salon. I was very specific about how many people I spoke to. I didn't want them to come into the salon thinking, oh, forever, aloe. So I decided who I was going to talk to. And then I networked, friends, family, social media, out and about, like all the training we do. But I looked at the business side, and I realised how many small business owners would feel just how I felt. I could imagine most of them. Because you can only earn a certain amount of money unless you want to up your hours. And then it gets to the point where there are no more hours and you're capped, and that's where it stops. So that's where my focus went. And actually, looking back now on my business, I didn't realise that's what I was doing. It's only now kind of connecting the dots, looking back is where I can see it. So 6 out of my 9 managers, I've got 9 frontline managers to me, 6 of those were, some still are, small business owners. So it is a really, really good area to focus on. But what I didn't do when I was speaking to these people, so I networked in the normal way, spoke to the people I knew with small businesses, found other small business owners. And I didn't focus on the negatives. I didn't tell them, oh, if you get sick, you're not going to get paid. If you break your arm, you're not going to get paid. They already know this. So what we've got to do is just tell them how amazing their business is, how proud they must be of the business that they've created from the ground. And then I was showing them how with their business and our business model, they could increase their revenue by a couple of £100 with no extra hours, because they could do it whilst they were doing it. So let me give you some examples. You know, we think of hairdressing and you think, oh, well, that's an obvious one. But actually in the team, we've got lots of different small business owners. So I'm just going to run through a few to get your mind thinking about who you could possibly go and speak to about increasing their revenue. A couple of £100 a month is a big difference to a business if they can do it whilst they're at work themselves. So in the team, we've got a lingerie boutique owner. Products go perfectly. People are thinking about their bodies, what they look like. We've got a Twitter consultant, already a social media expert. We've got independent travel agent, property maintenance. So as you're thinking about it, you can think, I can see how these products can fit. I can see how they can network it to all these different people. Care home owners, hairdressers, extensionists, holistic therapist. We've got someone with a cleaning company, cake business, a beautician, wedding photographer, someone that does glitter glasses, childminders, personal trainer, and nail technicians. So actually, when you start thinking about it, there are so many people that we really can go and talk to about it all. So I decided to start showing these people how they could increase their revenue, just like I did, a couple of £100 a month. And then I realised that was me building a team, but it genuinely started off the back of my excitement because what I'd discovered and what I'd found. So I introduced them to the products, but I decided to show them obviously how to increase, not necessarily replace. So So I want to give you a little tip specifically with hairdressers, and then you can slot it into everything else as well. The last thing I talk about to a hairdresser is shampoo. And some people think, oh, really? That's the first thing I would talk to. Well, no, because we're looking to increase their revenue, not replace their revenue. So if they're already selling shampoos and conditioners within a salon, we're just going to get into a price war. So what I was showing them was things that they didn't have so they could add on, like the Clean 9, like the drinking gels, like the beautiful skincare range. And then in time, they can see how they can introduce the other products when they fall in love with it. So they then choose to switch their full range. And that goes with any business, any small business that you're looking at as well. So I was talking to people about retail, bringing them in, especially this time of year. Lots of small businesses don't have lots of retail avenues, and retail is massive on the run-up to Christmas. So you could literally see light bulbs going off everywhere when you start talking to people. And then I show them the business, purely like we do anybody talking through the business presentation slides. That's it. You know, and I say to people, someone that's got the lingerie boutique, do you know of anybody else in your industry that might own a lingerie boutique that could do the same as you? That could be your team, because ultimately that's how we get paid. So you can't talk people into wanting to do this business, but the right people, allow them to get into it themselves and they'll see it. You know, the right people will see exactly how this works as long as you guide them to where the information is. And it's brilliant these days because we've got our team pages on Facebook. They can just see what's going on and see it happening, and then they decide to really go with it. So this is really scary. Look at that. That's life for a lot of people at Christmas. More people than not watch other people enjoy their Christmas. People that work in retail, you know, people are rushing up there to do their Christmas shopping because they're open till midnight. How many people are working there? So this really does open up our eyes to the potential of what we can do and who we can speak to. We also, when we're looking at self-employed people, we don't need to tell them the disadvantages of being self-employed in conventional businesses, because trust me, they know it. I knew it. On the run-up to Christmas, I just think, gosh, and you know, especially in hair and beauty and things like that, people think you earn more money at Christmas. Actually, you don't. You're doing all your work in December and then you're dead over January and February. So you're just burning yourself out so everyone else can enjoy it and you've got to sit back and watch. So who do you know that has to work these sort of hours that you could potentially show them how they can build it up now in their busiest time, but next year it will look very, very different to what it does on the screen? So there's the beautiful team. My Christmases look totally different to what they did just a few years ago. All of my lovely team enjoying Christmas. We have parties. I feel like I am part of it now. I'm not that person watching everyone else have their Christmas parties. We have our own. We do our own. So I would say to you as well, get stuck in. You know, really get stuck into what the teams are doing and everything else that is on around you. It all sounds great, doesn't it? You know, you're going to network with small businesses, network with people. But then we think, well, how have we got time to do this? And you're probably thinking, I can see what Louise is saying, I can hear it, I can see it all, but how can I find time to do it? So hands up in the room if you are a parent. Okay. So I'm talking to all of you guys. You feel guilty, don't you? You're here today when you could be at home with your family. You might have had a falling out with a partner because they didn't want you to come here. You've travelled, maybe you've stopped over in a hotel. You feel guilty when you go to the business presentation. You feel guilty when you've got your headphones in listening to training. And it's a really hard feeling, especially when your children are young. How do you know you're doing the right thing? How do you know that you're not sacrificing too much time and you're in this constant battle with yourself? Is it, I want my children to have everything, I want to achieve my goals, but am I not giving them enough now that's going to have an effect when they're older? So I could stand here, telling you what this business has done for us. But actually, what I want to do is introduce you to my 11-year-old daughter so you can hear from her words what this business has achieved. Tyler?
So my name is Louise Mackenzie, and I am very excited to tell you all, from my point of view, what I know you can achieve from this business. So I am 11 years old. I am a sister to 2 brothers. I am chairman's bonus qualified. Well, mum is, but same thing. And I am also a global travel expert. Thank you to Forever. Two years ago, on the 30th of August, me and my family moved from a small house where I had the smallest bedroom in the history of bedrooms to a big house where I now have a big room on the top floor. I have the top floor all to myself, which is good because I get peace and quiet. Our garden is really big and it looks so pretty all through the year, and it's really good to play in and host 4cc parties. Me and my brothers have been going to private school for about a year now, and Miller, my littlest brother, is joining this Wednesday. So I think the main reason that my mum decided to send us to private school was because Bailey was behind on his reading and his writing. But you can already see a massive difference. So Mum started this business with the goal of being a Range Rover driver, and which led to everything else, like the big house, and she achieved it, but only because of 2 very important things: hard work and determination. So I've been on a few holidays of a lifetime, thanks to Forever. Some Forever have paid for, like Singapore Global Rally in 2015. I've also been to Thailand, where we ate tea on the beach. I washed a baby elephant with my brothers, and we went to temples to see monks, and they had amazing statues, and it was amazing. I also made a friend called Pin who spoke no English at all, but we got along straight away. In Singapore, I went on stage with my mum and my stepdad and my 2 brothers to collect her cheque, which was so cool. And the hotel was amazing. It also had an infinity pool on the roof, and that was just incredible. Christmas time is by far the best. Mum's not as busy anymore like she used to be when she worked in the salon. Because our lounge roof is so tall, we always try to find the tallest, biggest tree we possibly can. And it's a challenge to decorate, but it's still really fun. Most times around Christmas time, me and Bailey would come home from school to find Steve, my stepdad, on a step ladder with the washing up line pole with a fork on the end, trying to hook the baubles onto the top of the tree, which is always really funny. And I just love Christmas. So I know Mum has sacrificed a lot of time with me and my brothers, but it was only 30 minutes to an hour before my bedtime. And I know she also sacrificed a lot of her own time, like watching TV and going to bed late and waking up earlier, but it paid off. And forever is all I've known since I was 7. So thank you, Mum, for being amazing and never quitting. I've just got one last thing, and I want you to remember what you decide to do today or tomorrow or the day after that or whenever you can will change yours and your family's life forever. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.